The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Wanna welcome everybody, yeah, we gotta get it hype. Hey, every week talking wrestling, we get into it. Current events, even guests that we're interviewing. Hosted by Chris, Kid USA, and Nappy Boy. Shout out to Ziggy, put the smack down, you can't ignore. The best you gon' find anywhere online. Tell the competition they about to get clothesline. Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Let's go.
Welcome to Hashtag 185. I'm your host, Mr. Team Bringing. We got a couple of new guests on here from Twitter. We got Mr. Droopy and AB. Thank you guys for joining us this evening on short notice.
What's up, everybody? Thanks
for
having
no problem.
me.
All right. And Mr. the Enforcer, you already know him, Mr. Antonio. Welcome. So before we start, everyone, need you to hit that little thumbs up and comment on this video. Need you to subscribe. Then I need you to hit that notification bell so you get news and rumors from Hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast exclusively on Facebook and on YouTube. So tonight, everybody, we are going to freestyle this podcast. Because we already talked about Money in the Bank, we want to talk about the immediate bullshit that's coming up, which is SummerSlam. SummerSlam, everyone. And then also, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about more allegations that came out this past Friday about Vince McMahon not keeping his dick in his pants. All right. So, yeah, it's a lot, everyone. It's a lot. So, first... How we gonna what should we talk about first? Should we just talk about the Vince McMahon situation?
Yeah, let's get that out the way.
Yeah, let's just get that bullshit out the way. All right. So first, everyone, yeah. So, wrong one. This one. So breaking news: Vince McMahon paid over $12 million to four women and forced oral sex on a wrestler, which they are not talking about which wrestler, but I think we know which wrestler. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of dissect this. So 2 weeks ago, there was allegations that came out about Vince McMahon paying 12 million, but it came out that Vince McMahon has paid he paid $1 million for this woman, 7.5 million for this woman, 5 million for this woman, and 4 million for this woman. So it's completely all over the place, but they did not disclose what names. They just said that this was NRA or NDAs or some type of shit, undisclosed agreements, basically. Right. So let's kind of go around the whole room. Droopy, what do you feel? How you feel about this situation, bro?
I feel that Vince McMahon has proved that pussy rules the world. I mean,
so that's how you gonna kick off the podcast?
I mean, I mean, never in my life. I love, women just as much as the next man. And even if she's my wife, I don't see myself, if I had it, paying $12 million, over a lifetime. I mean, that just goes to show you his mindset of, he feels that, everybody has a price, like the $1 Million Man always says, everybody has a price, and that anybody can be bought, and that he's above the law. I mean, because this type of behavior has been going on for the longest time. I mean, I'll bring up, they used to have something that they called all their victims. They called them the Cream Club. And
you talking about what's the name? Pat Patterson?
The Cream Boys.
The Cream Boys? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember watching YouTube. I forgot what the dude's name was. It was this black dude. He said Pat Patterson made a pass to him. And it has been going on for so long that he went and asked wrestlers. He said he asked Ric Flair about it. That Pat Patterson came on to him and said, you have to do this in order to, you know, make money and get ahead. And he said Ric Flair told him straight up, didn't hesitate. Hey, the way I see it, you're making money, you're getting a blowjob too. And it's like, when he said that, that lets me know it's like a regular thing. It's like the norm.
So let me ask you this. I don't want to put you on the spot like this, but I'm going to ask you and AB and Enforcer, do you think, you know, maybe back in Ric Flair's day, he was sucking a little bit of dick just to get ahead in the business?
Woo! You heard about him not,
if he was not sucking, he was.
Listen. The reason why I asked you that is because there's no motherfucking way you're going to tell another motherfucker that it's okay to suck some dick just to rise above the rankings. That's why I asked you.
I mean, you know, just think about it. His catch, you know, phrase was "woo," and what does that look like?
I was gonna say if he's not sucking, he must be getting from the back.
Hey.
Woo! You know?
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Ric Flair, but you know, when the guy said that, it just lets me know that that type of behavior is the norm, and that's what's sad about it.
Okay, cool. AB, talk to us.
In regards to Ric Flair, I mean, they don't call him the dirtiest player in the game for nothing. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But
okay.
In regards to the Vince stuff, right? Like, I mean, none of us are really shocked by it because we're all wrestling fans, right? But if this was like any other sport or any other company, Vince probably would have been gone after the first set of allegations came out. Because like,
that is true.
Because like, I don't know if y'all know who Jeff Zucker is, the CNN guy.
I don't.
Like he used to run CNN, right? He was forced to resign because he had a relationship with one of his executives, and that was all consensual and everything too. But he just didn't disclose it, and because he didn't disclose it, he was forced to like they basically gave him an ultimatum: either you're fired or you got to resign, right? And like even somebody like Roger Ailes, the CEO of Fox, that dude was forced to resign too. And like, I don't really like see too many people talking about this element of it, right? But who owns the Wall Street Journal? It's Rupert Murdoch and Fox News, right? So like, the fact that they were the ones who broke the story. WWE has a $1 billion deal with Fox for SmackDown, right? So like, now we just have to see, unless Fox or NBCU or any of those people. Yo, I'm sorry, is this the comment on the page? God, it's true though. This guy, how much did he pay for WCW? Like $2 million, right?
Right.
$2
million. Right.
$2 million.
You telling me that you pay more for pussy?
Hey. Oh wait. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but this is hilarious.
Yo,
this is hilarious. Because that's really, really fucked up, bro.
It is, bro. I was listening to Cornette's pod, right? Like one of his people, they did the math. It would have been cheaper for Vince to have paid for a hooker at $1,000 an hour for 12 years than to have paid $12 million, excluding like gifts and stuff and shit. Like, that's how much money this guy's been wasting, right?
Who say he hasn't?
I mean, oh yeah, that's true. Because this is just what we know about, right? Like, because how many other people or how many other women has he done this shit to that aren't speaking out? Because we could eventually get that element of it too, right? Because it just takes one person to come forward. And like, the sad part of all this is now it's just gonna start raising questions about like the other female talent in the locker room too,
right?
Because now you're always gonna have those rumors. Oh, is she sleeping with Vince? Is that you're just gonna keep on getting that perspective, and it sucks because the whole women's revolution and all of that, right? That WWE's been trying to do. Now all of that is always going to be thrown into question because the boss was sleeping with the talent, right? And like, I don't know. It's a bad situation, right? And if it was anybody else, they would have been gone. Right?
Okay.
If it was anybody else, they would have been gone. And like the culture exists like in WWE. It's been there forever, right? It's like we heard about the whole Pat Patterson thing, right, with the Ring Boy scandal and all that. Ric Flair. We can even talk about the plane ride from hell, right? Ric Flair on the plane.
Oh Lord.
What he allegedly did to the waitress and all that, and what happened to Ric Flair? He got a slap on the wrist.
Right.
And another Hall of Fame ring.
Exactly, and Jerry Lawler too. Jerry Lawler was also accused of this stuff a while ago, right?
Yeah, because I heard that he was a pedophile.
Oh yeah, and like that's the sad part, because like all the people at the top, right? Like Vince, John Laurinaitis, hell, maybe even Kevin Dunn and Bruce Pritchard. We don't know, right? They're all, because those are now the people who are in control of all this shit. So if they're they're either enabling it or they're okay with it or both. So like, I personally think Vince needs to go, but unless the sponsors and unless the suits at Fox and NBC say something, right? I don't think anything's gonna happen, unfortunately.
Okay, cool. Mr. Enforcer, what you got to say?
Like he said, like y'all both of them said, like this has been going on for a long time. We just find out a lot more stuff, especially with Vince. I put it like this: if we remember the Mae Young situation, that she was pimping women and taking their money. Moolah, Fabulous Moolah, and so not to mention, like you said, the Pat Patterson, the Cream Boys, and now this Vince McMahon thing. We just get into the cream. We didn't get to the cherry yet. Like, who's the wrestler that been getting these orals and stuff? And you also got to think of some. If you go back to some of these the Attitude Era, when we questioned a lot of the women wrestlers that was on top at the time, that they had no wrestling skills, no nothing, but they was the top draw and all that stuff. What did they do to get those positions? You know. So now a lot of things gonna come out. And with social media and technology today, you'll find more shit just typing people's name and Google it, and then you go see, you might find a video of a shoot video of someone bringing this up, and we just didn't pay attention to it, you know?
Yes.
So,
I mean, that's happened to me ever since the allegations have came out. Like, I've been like going on YouTube and seeing like a whole bunch of documentaries about Pat Patterson, about how he was, you know, getting on his knees and assuming the position, talking about, I want to suck your dick just for you, just I love like this. You know, like, you know, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's funny, but it's depressing at the same time, because, like, once again, like me, Droopy, and AB was talking about this earlier on Twitter, that like a lot what's going on in the corporate world that we work in, you know, we're the little people. We're you know, we're below 75,000 making a year or whatever. If we did shit like this, we could get fired on the spot like that.
On the spot.
Right. You were sucking dick, you know, in the back room or whatever. Nope, you're gone. You know, that type of shit. You got these white motherfuckers that's like in these corporate positions or whatever and getting away with this. Like, this happens, y'all. This shit happens on the daily basis in these corporate offices, and it's always
an old man. I ain't going. You know, it don't have. Listen, the only color that matters is green. Okay, it could be the oldest man in the world, and he got the power, and you want to be up in that. You want to rise to that corporate ladder, because he gonna be like, come meet me in my office at 12 o'clock. By yourself and give you that altercation. So this, like, when WWE is making this money that they built up for years and years and years, there's always some scandal, especially in the corporate world. There's always some scandal that's gonna come up, that's in the dark, it's gonna come to light, because guess what? Either you stop paying that individual, or they try to blackmail you, or they got something on you. Who knows? Like, we just found out the number right now. It probably doubled by time next week. It seems like every damn day since the first allegation, we getting more and more and more. Every time you wake up in the morning, someone binging on Twitter, Facebook. Oh, there's more. Oh, this woman did this.
Right.
Oh, Vince did this.
And I think that's what scared me the most. Because it's like, why the fuck this shit had to happen on a Friday? Bitch, you knew what the fuck was going on all last week. From Monday to Friday. Why the hell you gonna wait until payday to say surprise? Bitch, I got you. You know?
I call it as the wrestling world turns. It's just some more drama, soap opera. I mean, that's what wrestling's supposed to. It's the male version of a soap opera. Well,
the male version of Days of Our Lives.
Exactly. We are getting all of it. General Hospital, Young and the Wrestlers, all that shit rolling into one in wrestling right now because fucking Vince McMahon, like my man said, pussy runs the world. Hey, I told my wife this shit. Like, y'all women could really run this shit. Y'all got the power.
y'all got parenthood. Well, y'all did, but
that's a whole different story.
But yeah. So let's go on to this next topic or whatever. This was a very controversial topic. Not this one. I'm sorry. Help me out, bro. What was that? What was the one that's married to Jonathan Gresham?
Jordan Grace.
Oh, Jordan Grace. Yes.
Grace. Yes. Let's talk about her real quick. Yeah, matter of fact, AB, can you kind of elaborate what she said on Twitter? I did have it, but yes, can you elaborate what she did?
Like, I don't have the tweet in front of me, right? I don't even
think I saw it live.
Oh yeah, you said
okay. Because I kind of heated, but let me just say it. She said that if Chris Benoit was alive today, he could not hang with the wrestlers today, and may he burn in hell. Once she said that, of course, especially in Twitter, she put it on her Twitter page. She got what it was coming. Everybody,
all hell broke loose.
All hell broke
loose.
And then she replied after that, and she said, "See, I made a little criticism to Chris Benoit, and y'all took the bait. That was not bait, honey.
That was caught.
Yeah, right. That was you pretty much got fucked with no Vaseline. That's what you just did. I know the situation. I know it's a sensitive situation, the Nancy, his son situation himself. But if we just talking about wrestling career, Christian Benoit can hang with these guys. Christian Benoit was the wrestler. Well, he didn't have no charisma. We already know that. He had probably one or two funny moments, but wrestling, that dude was one of the best in the world. And
I mean, we're talking about the same person that went toe for toe with Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle was one of the best in the business. He's up there with Bret Hart. I mean, this man went move for move, toe to toe. I mean, like in 2004, they had one of the best matches of the year at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, standing ovation. You know how hard it is to get a standing ovation in a hostile crowd like Philadelphia, Chicago, hell, even New York at the time. They got it. He lost. Remember this? He lost and got a standing ovation. They couldn't even do the next segment. They had to break the commercial little ad they had, come back to show that this man got a standing ovation because he just came back from a neck injury, a broken neck, and had probably one of the best matches, which catapulted him to the next year. You think about it, he won the Royal Rumble the next year, had one of the best moments with Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania. You cannot tell me, okay, as long as I watched this man from the Four Horsemen, ECW, breaking Sabu's necks, all that shit, that he could not hang with today with these guys who fragile.
I think she was on crack when she actually said that, or maybe she had much Twinkie sauce in her pussy and it was backed up. Maybe that's what it was.
Or this. Remember who she's married to? John Grisham, who's been overlooked in his eyes. Remember, he was pissed off.
I know where you going with that.
Okay. He was pissed off with the Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. You remember that little promo? I'm sick of people overlooking me. Dude.
The plan unravels.
Right. So she got to defend her husband, a la just like Homegirl defended Brian Cage. The wife had to stick up for the husband.
But she did it indirectly. She wanted to be the messenger, but she didn't want to put it out there on why she actually did it. Because if you really look at it, it was kind of random. But like how she did, I'm like,
Oh yeah,
bitch, why the fuck you just randomly just saying a tweet about
It was
Chris
stupid.
Benoit?
Let's be honest.
Right, it was
stupid.
very stupid.
It was stupid because, like I said, Jordan Grace. Let me tell you what Jordan Grace. All you do is take pictures of your ass half naked, posting like this, showing you got the. Listen, I give you, honey, baby. I love your confidence. I love it. I love the
God
confidence.
ain't happy outside because it's thundering.
Oh, I see it. I see it. He know what we talking about.
I mean, like, I'm like, dude, why the fuck is it like? I know the fireworks are done, but you know, it's.
He know what we talking about. He making sure that y'all stay clean with what you say. So, you know,
I would say the big question is, how did Chris Benoit get brought up in the first place?
She brought it up herself.
We don't know. We
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, like, bro, like Droopy, like it was like completely random. Like I went back to her tweets and I was trying to figure out, like, okay, maybe a fan brought up Chris Benoit, but bro, like this was completely at random. Like how she set it off, it was just like I know that this is going to be the coldest take that she had, so it was just like she did this like randomly, and it really doesn't make any sense.
Was it? I'm trying to think. Is this not the anniversary of his death? Is it?
No. The anniversary was a few days ago. I think it was last week. It was the 24th, right? That's when he died.
So maybe wasn't it sometime last week? She made not last week. It was a couple of days ago. She made this tweet.
She made this about 2 days ago.
2 days
ago. So my thing is maybe I'm not trying to make no excuse for her, but maybe like I said, she had everybody's still talking about, you know, that's something you can't really forget. Like, you know, you want to look at a Chris Benoit match, but at the same time, you in the back of your head, you go hear somebody like, oh, that murderer and blah blah blah. How he watch him? Just like I think someone said it best. If you could watch it, if you could listen to an R. Kelly song right now, you could watch a Chris Benoit match. You know. So I just like, I don't know what made her just jump out the window with that, but she ain't land on no soft cushion. She kind of landed on the concrete on that one.
So these names, right?
People,
okay, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
Because most people can separate the wrestler from the monster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they, you know, okay, what he did in his personal life, that's one thing, but what he did in that ring, he made it look like it was real.
Yes.
And he, you know, it was like the way he wrestled as if he had zero fucks to give.
Oh, God.
And
bro,
that's the way he wrestled. You know, oh boy, you know, if I'm get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. But for her to say that he can't hang with nobody today, that's just like saying, you can dodge the rain. You know, while it's pouring down rain, you can dodge the rain. It just doesn't make sense, you know, because Chris Benoit, any wrestling move, he knew a counter to it. I mean, he's friends with Dean Malenko, so that should tell you something. Him and Dean Malenko
and Bret Hart, right?
Bret. He trained in the dungeon.
He trained in the dungeon.
Yeah, they trained in the dungeon. Like, I'm like trying to figure out, like, where did the fuck she get her information from? Like I mean, like, Chris Benoit was a trailblazer. Like, everyone said that he was one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. He also made a.
Don't forget that. Prove me wrong. If you don't think I'm the best, prove me wrong. I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but not just the dungeon. No, that's the legendary Heart Dungeon. He also went to New Japan and did the dojo. You know how hard it is for, especially a gaijin, to go to Japan and work in that dojo with the squats they do. They got to clean the wrestlers' line.
At that time, too.
And especially that time, how hard it was. And came back, went to excursion, did all the Young Lion stuff to do. If you don't know what the Young Lion stuff they do, take a look. I mean, they still do it today.
Like,
let me
go ahead. Go. I want to kind of go to the comments, but I'm gonna go to AB's point. Go ahead, AB.
Okay, no, I'm gonna make it quick. I mean, in terms of like what he did, like outside of the ring and all that, like that shit's just unforgivable, right? I think like I'm gonna just use what Paul Heyman said, and I think it would best sum it up. In Paul Heyman's words, like in ring, Benoit was probably like a top 5 wrestler in his eyes, right? And like, let's be honest, if Chris Benoit was like normal, right, and like everything, how many people you think would like if he had a wrestling school, that shit would he would be making more money than Vince McMahon paid in hush money, but
yeah,
like right, but I don't
Sure.
I don't know. It was a stupid thing to say too, right? Because like, why out of anybody, why would you want to use Chris Benoit's name, right? Like if you
The
want to
most
make that
controversial name, the
right,
by
the worst possible name in
polarizing
wrestling,
fucking figure.
right, the worst possible name in wrestling, and like the guy did a lot of great stuff in the ring, right? And in ring, he's probably top 5 of all time, like just in ring. But in terms of like all the other stuff, yeah, there was flaws, and if he couldn't, and to say that he couldn't hang with the wrestlers of today, right?
Right.
That is so untrue, because it's obvious. Like it's so obvious to see that how good he is, right? Because every single move, because like I mean, let's be honest, his match was the template for probably one of the greatest moments in recent WWE history, which is Daniel Bryan winning the title.
Yes.
Right. So there's that too. Oh, and in terms of which name it is, like, are we allowed to say or like what?
Yes.
Oh,
This is an uncensored show. So like, we'll all see. Okay, so you think it's Christy Hemme?
Because like even if you look at how she talks about her WWE departure, right?
Right.
We
talked about this today.
Right. It always sounds like you know how like in cop shows and stuff, right? When people can't talk, they say stuff like "I'm not at liberty to discuss." She's basically just saying like a normal English version of that. Because she always says, "I didn't want to stand on my morals" or something like that, right? And it all sounds really, really fishy. So I think it's her personally, but I don't know. I don't feel like it doesn't really matter who it is, right? The fact that he did that shit,
right?
Allegedly, of course.
Okay. Let's kind of go to the comments, because the comments are like flowing in. So Stephen said that I believe that Nick Khan got a lot of people to leak this information. Joe from Franklin. Oh, Joe Franklin. I said Joe from Franklin. I'm sorry, Jeff Franklin. Oh my God. I need some sleep. Vince. He said Vince could have just went to the brothers in Nevada for cheaper.
The Bunny Ranch.
Wait, how the fuck do you know about the Bunny Ranch?
Who, me? It was a TV. It was a TV show on HBO.
Yeah.
It was a TV show on HBO. I used to watch it.
I think back in your day before you was married, I think you were dipping dabbing in the ranch.
I can't afford that pussy.
Oh,
I can't afford that.
The fifth.
The fuck? I know.
Right.
I can't afford that shit. I can't afford that.
Joe also said that Moolah probably pimping hoes for Vince.
Hey,
Vince probably had his own Jazane Maxwell.
I'm saying though.
Ooh, okay.
The Epstein chick.
Herman said that Nick Khan, the biggest heel in pro wrestling. Herman also said that he said okay. Yep, we got that part. And then Trey said that I don't know what chick will want to serve up a limp 76-year-old jackhammer unless he uses Viagra. And honestly, I don't think Viagra is going to help his case, but whatever. Stephen said that but she didn't expand on her comment. She didn't.
Oh, she didn't.
Trey said that Chavo stated Grace lost some credibility with her comments. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
That she lost some kind of credibility with her comments?
Yeah.
You know what the thing about that is? She's the knockout champion for Impact.
True.
You are the face. You are the face of that division, and you pretty much did a Blanchard move. You just lost some major credibility that you worked your ass off for. Just like
it's like you did this. Like going back on your point, like we've been all trying to figure out like why she said these comments, and it's like why, and then like we have to figure out. Oh, you're married to Jonathan Gresham, so I'm gonna ask you guys this. I'm gonna go around the room. So, do you think that he probably had something to do with that comment, though?
No.
I feel that.
No.
I don't think so either.
Only reason I say no is because one, before anybody know they was together, they considered Jonathan Gresham one of the best technical wrestlers in the world anyway.
But could he be petty as fuck and use his wife to go on Twitter to say that comment, because I don't think that this was just a coincidence. I don't think she just randomly just picked Chris Benoit.
Let me tell you something about her history. Like I told you, she's very bold. Like she's a very bold person. She could come on her page, take half naked pictures, posing. Hell, she did one pretty much damn near naked and had 2 belts over her body, like she was Shawn Michaels or something. So she's very bold. But John Grisham, I don't think so, because one, he's not really a social media guy. He got a page, he just don't be on it. He's like Moxley. Moxley got a Twitter page. You just don't see him posting shit at all.
And that's the best way to go. Hey, Droopy, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I feel like, Jonathan Gresham, I feel he just sat back, and when she said it, I believe he didn't jump in because he didn't want to, get into the fire. But I feel that she just felt that her husband was being overlooked or kind of disrespected. I mean, Jonathan Gresham, he is, a surgeon in that ring. I mean, he is, damn good. But I feel like this is just her. Like he said, she is bold. I mean, when you can put out pictures, not that I know this or anything, this is just what I've heard. That she puts out pictures with other women, suggesting that, she goes both ways. So I feel like, her saying that, goes with her personality of just being, fearless. And also, I believe I heard that, she kind of also said that Kurt Angle couldn't hang with, wrestlers today.
Oh no, that wasn't her. That wasn't her. That was.
Listen.
Oh.
I'll go after her scalp. I'll go after what's left of her pussy lips. I'm telling you.
Jesus.
I'm telling you. Like, I'm serious. Like, she already said this hoe did a lot of dumb shit. Like, for real. Like, this comment just really pissed me off. Because, like, how you gonna disrespect? I know Chris Benoit does not need any praise. He do not need no airtime. I get it. But at the same time, I maybe you were smoking weed and you lost some brain cells. Maybe she was smoking some crackers. Maybe she was inhaling the paint on the wall. I don't know. But I'm trying to figure out what possessed her to say some shit like this.
Alcohol.
That's all I want to know.
I think it just goes with what Droopy said, right? Like, because like we all know how like she's like a bold person and all that, and like in regards to like her husband and stuff, I don't think Jonathan Gresham really had anything to do with it, because if it was related to Gresham, right? Why would she not say something about someone that he's consistently compared to, for example, like a Danielson or Zack Sabre Jr. or whatever, right? Like that's because that's the thing I'm missing. And in terms of the Kurt Angle thing, right? Gail Kim actually called her out. She's like, "No, you're being stupid." She's like, "You sound like the people who say that Kurt Angle couldn't hang." I mean, for those people, like I'll be honest, right? Most of Kurt Angle's prime, or especially the Perk Angle years, those were in TNA, right? So I had to rewatch some of those matches. This dude would mop the floor with anybody except Bryan Danielson or Kenny Omega. That's just what I think. Right? I think he'd mop the floor with everyone except for those two. And like Okada too. Okada's up.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely say that one.
And no, it's just like I don't know the reason that I don't understand why she said it, right? It's just, what are you trying to prove? If you're trying to work an angle or something, right? Then fine. But why would you use Chris Benoit instead of somebody like, Bryan Danielson, Kurt Angle, hell, even William Regal, right? William Regal's always talked about in that way too. Like I feel like
you think that like William Regal is not appreciated in the wrestling business like he should be?
In terms of his technical stuff, right? I don't think he's as appreciated as he should be, but like it's, how do I explain this? I think he's appreciated, right? But he's more appreciated for like what he brings out in terms of like talent scouting, for him as a GM and all of that, right? Like and how he is as a trainer rather than his actual career itself. Because like whenever you hear people talk about William Regal, right, one of the first things I always bring up, he was the main reason NXT was so good. He's the one who signed all these guys with Triple H.
Right.
That's what people think of first, right?
Right.
So in terms of William Regal, I feel like once he retired, he got more praise and he got more credit. And honestly, that's what most people. That's like most people, especially people from like my generation, right? That's what we know him for.
Mhm.
Like, because like William Regal, he wasn't really active in like the 2010s, right? He didn't really do like.
No.
I think he wrestled like.
He-
I don't think he even wrestled like 100 matches in the entire 2010s.
No, he
So, like,
stopped like the early
His-
2000s.
Right.
His final match was 2000, I think 11 or 12 in NXT against Cesaro. His Cassiano, I should say.
Oh, really? Oh,
That was his last match. He had a little feud with Chris Hero or Catches Ono, where the fuck was his name, and then him and Cesaro. That was his last match. But since I don't mean to interrupt you if you're not finished, but I used to watch William Regal, and William Regal used to piss me off how good he was. You know what I'm saying? He would make one of your greatest heroes, like a Steamboat, and at the time Ric Flair, who was coming back from WWF, look bad because he had catch you. And also he made Bill Goldberg look bad. He exposed Big Goldberg.
I mean, anybody can make Goldberg look bad, honestly.
But at that time, we didn't know how, because they try to make him unstoppable, all this stuff. When Regal got here and stretched him and made him look goofy, that he looked like a big ass.
He was a goofy mid-carder at the time.
Right. Like, what's going on? So
who was the mid-carder?
I mean, no, William Regal. He was a goofy. He was a mid-carder at the time, right?
Yeah.
When he was against Goldberg.
Yeah, because this is the thing. But William Regal, he messed up his own career. He said it himself. He admitted his damn stuff. He messed up his own career with the drug use, the alcohol use. At the time, this is why I say before WWE went public, this is when Vince McMahon actually gave a damn about talent. He paid for his rehab.
Regal's life.
Yeah, paid for his rehab. And Regal been loyal to Vince ever since. Even when he went back to WCW for a short time, came back before they brought WCW. He made sure William Regal was okay and all that stuff. And we got to find I guess the last few good years of Regal when he was wrestling and tagging up with he was a former Con champion, former European champion, tag team with I think it was Eugene or Tajiri, one of them. He showed some spunk that he still had it, but his best years was behind him because all that, all the direction going. But yes, right now you say William Regal's name, he is remembered for the NXT talent, which I also told you this on Chris. Like, everybody giving Triple H all this credit. I was like, no, you give some of that credit to William Regal, because William Regal used to go to indie shows and watch. Like, he brought in Kevin Owens. He brought in
Sasha. That was the main one.
Sasha. He went to
he risked his job. He went up to Vince and Triple H and said, right, if she does not work out, then fire me.
Yes.
Like, he risked his job for Sasha Banks. And like, I'm glad you brought up like his drug use and all that, right? Like, back when Vince actually used to give a shit about, even recently, like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard like Regal's podcast, Regal's episode with Jericho, right, where he talked about all his health problems and stuff while he was in like 5 years ago, right? They paid for his rehab and stuff too. But the reason I brought up William Regal is, right, for in the case of Jordan Gray. So she's trying to do that. If she's trying to work an angle or something, out of all the people in the world, all the people in wrestling history, rather, excuse me, why would you bring up Chris Benoit? Like, it would basically be like going to the FBI's office, bringing up Lee Harvey Oswald, right? like it doesn't make any sense. So I think it was just something that was on her mind that she just had to get out of her system, Like everybody has like one of those like hot takes, right? I mean, mine personally, I'll just say, I think Jungle Boy's the most overrated wrestler in AEW, right? I think it was just one of those things for her. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, calm down. Calm down, AB, because his eyes got big as hell. You said
no. That's very interesting, because I really want to talk about this. So is this your take, or do you think that it's just some fans?
Oh no, that's
what you think. Okay,
the Jungle Boy thing. Yeah, that's what I think.
So what makes you say that Jungle Boy is overrated?
I mean, it's a few things, right? In terms of AEW, right? I know the first thing people are bringing up is, why would you say that? He's such a great wrestler. Yes, he is. But so is pretty much so is pretty much everyone on the AEW roster, right? Like, there's, aside from Satnam Singh, right? And that's only because he's been in the business for all of 5 minutes. There isn't really anyone on the roster that's going to give you a bad match, per se, right? Especially on the men's side. And when I say overrated, I don't mean that he's bad, but for the people that he is compared to, right? He is a lot weaker than them, is what I believe. Like, for example, if you just look at the 4 pillars, right? Who do we have? We have MJF, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy, right? In terms of promos, he's easily at the bottom of the list, right?
Yep.
And the reason I say that is, I mean, MJF, I think MJF is probably like one of, if not the 3 best promos in the business, right? I don't really think that's too much of a hot take,
Right.
yeah. And then Sammy Guevara is pretty good too, and with Darby Allin, right? Darby Allin, he's not like an amazing promo or anything, but he's one of those. But he's good in spots, and he's one of those people, right? Kind of like Jeff Hardy, who he doesn't really need to talk to get his charisma across, right? Whereas
he let his work in the ring do the
not just his work in the ring, but like all the it's like a weird type of energy with him, right? Even Jeff Hardy barely actually talked during his run, right?
Right.
But
he didn't need to.
Same thing with Darby. He didn't need to, exactly. But with Jungle Boy, right? And the reason I say that I think he's overrated, outside of being a good wrestler, right? What else is he great at? Outside of being a great wrestler, what else is he great at? Because
he's great at acting.
I'm sorry. Is he though?
I'm sorry. That was his father. I'm sorry. My bad.
Right. And I'm actually glad you brought up acting, right? The guy, until he started working with Christian, the guy had no facials. His face was always the same, right? Like that, and the reason, like, I say that, right? Because I'm not saying his Jungle Boy is terrible or anything like that, but if you look at the people that he is compared to, right, he is clearly not on that level. Like, if I was to do a comparison, right, it would be like comparing Dwayne Wade with LeBron and Kobe, right? No disrespect to D Wade, but he's not on the level of either of those 2 guys, right? So that's what I feel about Jungle Boy. What do you all think?
I mean,
you want to take this, or
you can go, because I mean
everything he said though, especially about the 4 pillars, I'm not going to disagree with that. We know Jungle Boy can't talk worth a damn. That's why Christian Cage took that role. But what I think is, for like with Jungle Boy, we all, like you said, he should be on that level where he don't need to talk, because his talent speaks for itself. Like we know a couple of matches he had that probably made him a bigger star than we didn't think he should be. Like, you know, he took Chris Jericho to the limit. The early days of AEW, he got pretty much up there with the most wins in AEW. We know that,
right? But even the tag match,
and that's another thing
against Wardlow and MJF, right? That's an underrated match too,
right? And that's what I was to say, and that's another thing. It seems like they got to put stuff to hide his flaws. Like, they put him with a tag team, so now whenever he come back, this is going to be the true test of his star power. Now you by yourself. There's no Christian. There's no Luchasaurus. It's you by yourself. So let's see what you really got. Because they've been putting him in the shadows. Like, all right, Jungle Boy, you've been giving us great matches, but you really talk because Christian was your mouthpiece. And when you did have a little rivalry with MJF, you got exposed right there. Because of course you know MJF gonna bring it. As if you can't hang with MJF on the mic, you pretty much already lost, as you see.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, and compared to the other pillars, I mean, Sammy Guevara came on his own, even though he was with the group. He came out on his own. I mean, Chris, me and you talked about this a lot, that he was the MVP of that Stadium Stampede match.
Very much.
And he came out his own, became the TNT champion. Darby Allin, I know y'all comparing to to Jeff Hardy, but when he do talk, you believe some of his promos, not all, some of his promos, because he always go to some personal level about his family and why he wear the makeup in the half face and all that stuff. And MJF is MJF. That's all I gotta say. Everybody know who MJF. He's right. So yes, he will be the bottom of the pillar of those pillars. But I think for Jungle Boy right now, whenever they decide to do this storyline, he gonna come back. This is gonna be his true test right here. This is the test to probably make you AB change your opinion on him, or it's gonna stay right there. It probably go worse than what you're saying right now.
Yeah,
No,
because
right.
because I think it's going to go in that direction. I'm sorry, I just don't think that Jungle Boy is going to be able to outdo Christian. I just don't.
No,
think so.
not right now. These had to be the best promos Christian has done, and God, AB, you don't understand. Me and this man right here, when they did the little the revealing who's the top star, I think me and him right there was like, Christian, really?
No, me too. I was like that.
Okay. So, but these have been some fire promos. I gotta give it to the old man. He's
carrying the show.
Right. We're talking about Christian. We haven't talked about Christian since TLC. So, or if you watch TNA, when he was in TNA,
that long?
Classic.
Yeah,
TNA was a classic.
Right?
Yes, it was. Yes, most definitely. Yes.
I think the last time Christian was this relevant, it was the feud with I think the last great thing he did in wrestling was the Christian Randy Orton feud, right?
Yeah.
I tried to get into that, but it's like I don't know. Like that's when he was, give me one more match, whatever, and then I just, switched the channel. Like I really didn't give a fuck about it too much. But no, I think that this is like his best work in any. Well, I didn't see TNA, so like I can't really comment on that. But honestly, from my experience with him being in WWE to now, like this is like probably the best heel work I've ever seen Christian do. Like no lie, and this is great. Like if they needed a replacement for MJF, which is almost like. MJF is irreplaceable. I bullshit you not. Irreplaceable for this generation, but if you needed a replacement for now, temporarily, Christian is,
Yeah, he's the button pusher right now. He's the one that pushes buttons, and every damn week every week we either take a quote for one of his promos that we got like, something like that. I haven't done that in a long time.
I gotta check this right out.
I haven't heard this much attention for Christian in the past 3 weeks.
Since
wait a minute.
Since he came to AEW.
Wrong one. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, your father's dead. Ha ha ha. I fuck your mother. The next week, your brother is a drunk. Oh, come on, man. He was drunk. He was on fire. He's certified asshole. He got that. And the fact is, you're supposed to boo him. You're supposed to boo. Those fans is not booing him when he say this.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know what Jungle Boy gonna do that's gonna make us go a different direction. Like, we're not shitting on his talent, but as a character, you're not making me believe that when you come back, you go turn to Jungle Man now? You go change to Tarzan or something? What?
Right, you gonna turn it to the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger or something?
Right.
They gotta start changing him up though. I feel like they need to start calling him by his real name more.
Well,
they really do.
Well, JR already do that. He called Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Even when you get the announcement, right? Even when Justin Roberts does their announcements, right? You should be like Jungle Boy Jack Perry, something like that, right? Eventually, like a few years down the line, right?
Yeah.
They need to turn this man into a Hollywood heel. Because even the name, right? Hollywood Jack Perry. It sounds nice, right?
It's in his bloodline.
It's in his bloodline, exactly.
So might as well do it.
He looked like the type of man that be just, crushing bitches' hearts. I mean, look what his father did. Like, fucking Brenda for years and shit, decided to go to Kelly.
Look who he's dating right now.
Facts.
He's dating Anna Jay.
Anna Jay. I mean, it's not just that, right? And like when I said about Jungle Boy, right? I'm not saying he's a bad talent or anything like that. I'm just saying like there's levels. Like I used the Dwayne Wade and Kobe and LeBron comparison earlier, right? Nobody's saying D Wade's a garbage player, right? No, right? Not at all. Like I'm a Miami Heat fan, so he's my favorite player of all time, right? But he's not on the, but he isn't at the same level as guys like Kobe, like LeBron, right? So like so in terms of like that's the only thing with Jungle Boy. I want to see it. And you guys were talking about Christian, right? Christian also did something not many are talking about. He kind of saved Luchasaurus a little bit too, because let's be honest, we were all thinking Luchasaurus was going to end up like Marty Jannetty, right? He was we all thought he was getting next on the contract expiry list once this whole thing with Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, right? But he made us go from not caring at all about Luchasaurus to now actually being like, oh, heel Luchasaurus. Now AEW basically has like a nice mid card heel.
Yeah,
right?
he's Dragon Zord now.
Right. Perfect.
But you know what though, I and you're right. That's another thing. He did kind of save Luchasaurus because I mean, any of us watched Luchasaurus' career, you know where he started from. He started at NXT. He had the mask on. Then he was on Lucha Under. He got that breakout in AEW. And he was doing stuff that someone like his size again should not be doing. He should not be doing moonsaults and all this shit. You know, JR.
Yeah, I think he's like what 6'7" or something like that.
6'7", 6'8", probably. But you know, as though when they do their tag teams, he always hit the hot tag and he do all the heavy work. But who gets the pin? Who gets the submission? Jungle Boy. So this I like where this going. Of course, we already talked about Christian, but to see a heel Luchasaurus and destructive, destroying everything on sight. Right. Pretty much. I mean, he beat the shit out of Matt Hardy. So
right.
I mean, this is gonna be a good look. I just can't get out of my head like what they gonna do with Jungle Boy when he come out, because you tell me
he faced Dragon Zord in battle mode.
Right. So you gonna tell me that Jungle Boy gonna beat Luchasaurus that you built him up as this destroyer? Nah. You gotta show me something. You gotta change his whole character to make me believe he gonna beat Luchasaurus.
He needs to basically do an Oracle promo.
I'm supposed to be the hot.
It's set up perfect for Jungle Boy when you think about it.
I can't. They were wrong for calling that man Dragons.
I'm supposed to be the high one, motherfucker. Not you.
No.
You can't stop. How this man get contact over internet? I don't know how. What?
No, it's just Dragon Zord in battle mode. Like
and someone said, "Go Power Ranger."
They called that man a Dragon Zord, and then when you said he beat the living shit out of Matty Hardy, I said Dragon Zord in battle mode. Y'all wrong for calling that man. Y'all wrong for calling that man a Power Ranger Dragon Zord. Like
You see how he just blamed us? That's that bullshit right there.
No, because I wasn't responsible for it this time. But whatever. Let's move on to this man right here. So, we need to talk
I'm
about
all for
Dawkins.
it.
Yes, sir.
We need to talk about Dawkins and Ford. Now, Dawkins made it known. I think this was on WWE.com or some shit.
It was Corey Graves' podcast, I think.
Oh, okay. So he made it known that he does not want to be Omar Jannetty. He doesn't want to be the hype man. He doesn't. He wants his respect, and he feels that fans is not giving him the respect at all. And it's like, I don't know. Do you think AB? Oh no, matter of fact, Droopy, you here, right?
Yeah, he's still here.
Oh, okay. All All right. So
Yeah,
do you
I'm here.
think-
I'm finally here.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about this on the spaces on Twitter, me, you, AB, and Terrell. So who do you see turning heel?
Dawkins. It's classic WWE booking. Like with WWE, right? Oh, sorry, my bad.
No problem.
Go ahead.
I feel it's going to be, Dawkins. No, I feel it's going to be Ford because they, look at him and they see superstar. And I feel since his wife is Bianca Belair, I feel that having him turn heel and sooner than later have Bianca turn heel, that's going to be a great power couple right there. But if WWE goes their same formulaic way, then Dawkins is going to be the one to turn heel, and then he's going to be forgotten real soon.
I mean, the last thing that I want them to do, the last thing I want them to do, not to cut you off, but I do not want Bianca turning into Bianca and Ford turning into the McDonald's couple. I don't want them turning into that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being all straight ghetto and like you from Milwaukee, whatever. Yes, I'm from Milwaukee, but I don't act that ghetto. I live on the south side. But anyway, I don't want them to go down that stereotype. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want
bringing your one kid McDonald's.
Exactly.
But you know what? You know what? Yeah, I mean, I see that, but if you watch that last match between Street Profits and the Usos, Floyd was more heel that night. Floyd was doing the DX chop crotches, all that. He was on another level that night. Dawkins, and for Dawkins to say that if he feel like he don't get that respect, I honestly think that's how he feels. But honestly, he got that respect if you see where he came from the NXT days before he was with the Street Profits, when he definitely looked like D'Lo Brown back then. But
that's the only thing. I mean, like Dawkins. Don't get me wrong. Like he has a great build, but then when I really look at him, it's like what else is exciting about you other than swirl it. I mean, like what else is interesting about you other than talk about we want the smoke?
Well, when he get that hot tag, man, he do stuff that I didn't think he could do. Like he got a hot that match. He got a hot tag and he was on fire. I actually thought they was gonna beat the Usos. I thought they was gonna give him that chance. But that, like you said, for them to turn either one of them heel, that is just classic WWE. They do a mutual split. That might make us look at things a little different. Like, okay, it's not working as a team. Let's see what we can do on our own. Just like how they did with the New Day. They didn't split the New Day. They just said, hey, it's your time. Go get a single goal. Hey, go be King of the Ring. Go be Kofi Mania.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing with New Day. New Day, it was a blessing and a curse at the same time. Yes, it was money. Yeah, they made money. It was a money machine. I mean, they turned them into from a choir to Pokemons to any type of animated character that you can think of.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, Digimon,
Studios, pancakes.
Forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was very animated and it worked. Don't get me wrong. But see, the thing about it is that it worked for them, but I don't know if it's going to. I'm definitely not working for the Street Profits because they see one star on that team, and it definitely is not Dawkins.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well,
no
Dawkins.
faith in WWE creators.
What you say, Droopy?
I said, I have faith in Dawkins and Ford because you can tell they got it. They got it. But I don't have faith in WWE creative.
It's classic
and that's McMahon, basically. Yeah.
I was going to say that because Dawkins also said he's open up to go back to NXT.
Why not?
He said he's very open to go back to NXT, and right now might be the perfect time because I'm gonna give them flowers. They had a couple of good shows lately, And I wonder why, since I heard Triple H is back down there. I want to say,
that's another thing. Matter of fact, let me see, because I think we went through. Yeah, because we talked about it a lot today. Matter of fact, I'm kind of hopping around. Let's talk about this particular number right here. SummerSlam is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. But a lot of fans that I've been talking to on Twitter and also on Facebook feels that the card that they currently have right now is a mistake. They could have went for the big money maker, which is Roman versus Bobby. It's something new, it's something fresh, and they could have built off this rivalry. But for some reason, they decided to go back on the shelf and revisit a rivalry that none of us really give a fuck about. So I really want to go around the room and the people that's like watching us at home, like, what are your views about this? Would you rather have a Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns or a Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns? What's your take? We'll start with Drew.
Obviously, I'd rather have Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns because I haven't seen Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns over the last 6 to 7 years. And, Brock, I know Brock can put on a 5-star match, but seeing that Brock gets whatever he wants, he doesn't have to put on a 5-star match. He can go in there and, do his usual. And here's how the match is going to go at SummerSlam. German, spear, German, Superman punch, German, belly to belly, hoo-ah, spear, Superman punch.
I mean, are you really like literally, like looking in the air and just like
it's like he already I've seen this 1,000 times. It's going, but
because the Usos interference,
and that too, because it's no rules. But I guess I gotta be devil's advocate on this one. Do y'all remember the last time we seen Bobby Lashley Roman Reigns match? They wrestled twice.
When was the last time?
So it was at day one. Royal Rumble.
2016.
No. The last time Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns was
Roman Reigns.
Was Money in the Bank 1-on-1. The winner supposed to have been the number one contender, which was Bobby Lashley. That match was boring as hell.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Then they had a rematch on Raw, which gave Roman the win, which made him beat Brock at SummerSlam.
Oh.
That match.
Yeah. So let's remember, that's when he was like, slapping his booty cheeks or whatever. So
that's
now
right?
They were trying to get him. Shut up. They were trying to get him like relevant or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So right. I mean, they came so close. I mean, they had the tip.
They played us. They played us. They played us because we was like, we go get that Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley match.
We about to get that blockbuster match.
Right.
But then they went to Roman
their golden boy. And he finally beat Brock. But this is my thing. Y'all know this, and hopefully this is the final encounter, but all those matches we know. But all those matches they had before was either sanctioned or it was, I think they had a cage match. I think they had one cage match and they had some multi-man matches. This is a match with no rules, last man standing, and every match, it don't matter who it is. If it's a last man standing, we gonna be talking about it. They got these weapons. Brock Lesnar with weapons. Hold on. Let me go. So we're gonna have Brock Lesnar, the vanilla gorilla with weapons. Cowboy Brock, whatever. He's the smiling Brock with weapons. Roman Reigns.
Back Mountain Brock.
Right. Roman Reigns. I'm the head chief. I do what the fuck I want. Right? This possibly be their best match. Now, and I'm not saying it's gonna be good. I ain't say that. I said this is gonna be their best match.
No, you're right.
So, but if we would have got now, this is why I say WWE went wrong with it. Remember when Bobby Lashley grabbed that did the WWE title from a fan. He said he wants the title match, a title that we always say he never lost. They should have found a way to put him in this, or get a title match, or get to at least get a chance at it with Roman Reigns, against Roman Reigns. They're not going to do it yet. They're not going to do it. They gave him the mid-card match. They gave their new Golden Boy the Money in the Bank.
Now let's talk about that. No, matter of fact, let's go to AB. AB, your turn. This is your fault. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. I mean, in terms of Roman and Brock, right? I'll just say this. What is the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing multiple times and expecting different results, right? With WWE, right? Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, it's basically just like this decade's version of John Cena versus Randy Orton, right? It's what they go back to if they don't know what to do, right? Now, if they say it's the last match, right? Right. I'm the guy who knows where Vince McMahon's bodies are buried. What I'm saying is more likely to be true than that being their last match. Right. So let's just get that out of the way, because that's not true. Right. They're probably gonna go back to this 6 months from now, right? In regards to the match, right? This is what all really annoyed me, right? It annoyed me, but I expected the fact that it was gonna happen because with WWE I learned something. It's like the Dallas Cowboys. You gotta manage your expectations. Right? Right? Hold on, let me explain. So,
go ahead.
With WWE, right? People need to stop expecting that they're going to do something revolutionary, do something completely out of the ordinary. They do occasionally. They do surprise us, right? For example, Drew McIntyre winning the Rumble, right? Or hell, even Theory winning Money in the Bank. Because I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming, right? But most of the time, they do what they just go back to old reliable, and this generation's decade's versions of old reliable is Brock versus Roman, right? And because the people that are in the back, they're not creative. They don't have the finger on the pulse of wrestling, right? They don't know what's gonna sell and what doesn't, right? So they just go back to what they know best. And credit the last Brock Roman match. The match itself sucked, right? I'll be honest.
It did.
But the build-up and everything, that was great. It was amazing, right?
The only one that was great.
Right, exactly. And even this match, right? Yeah, sure, it's going to be last man standing. Do you guys remember the last time we had Brock Lesnar in a last man standing singles match?
Yes, it was
32.
No, wasn't it him and Big Show?
Oh right, it was him. Was it him and Big? Was it?
No, yeah.
I'm sorry. That was a stretcher match. I'm sorry.
That was a stretcher match.
The Dean Ambrose match, right? That's the last one I can remember.
Yeah.
He was lazy in that match too.
Which one?
I said Brock was lazy in that match too.
Oh yeah.
Bro, Brock Lesnar is lazy in general. I'm trying to figure why they go back to him.
This is why this is what I say about Brock.
They don't have any other choice.
This is what I say about Brock Lesnar, though. When he wants to, or if he believes in the opponent that he's wrestling, you gonna have a great match. A la
2016, Daniel Bryan.
Him and AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, SummerSlam.
Right.
Brock was wrestling. Not WrestleMania, SummerSlam. I think it was when Brock cashed in the Money in the Bank and they gave him the rematch. That was the best effort I've seen of Brock Lesnar in a one-on-one match with Seth Rollins.
Right.
Then,
let's talk about Theory though.
Okay.
Theory.
Hold up, I was going there.
Roman ain't shit for this, but like the way he was looking, he was just like.
It was like he
doesn't believe in him.
No, like seriously, you're serious? That's what he did. He did one of those. You know when you got that one crazy dude that's gonna come to the club and say, "I smacked the shit out of it." Everybody looked at it like, really? you gonna do what?
Yeah.
Michael Scott in the Office.
Roman was not phased at all. Like he looked at him like I know I've been gone for like a couple of weeks though, but like, so you just will come in here and talk about, I got my lunchbox right here. I can cash it in anytime I want to. And I'm just like, motherfucker, if you come even one step near me, I'm going to smack the living shit out of you. And, I'm sitting up here and I'm like, dude, can you smack the shit out of him now? So then we don't have to have him cashing in on you. Because, like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really feel that Theory is going to cash in either on Roman or on Brock Lesnar. I feel that way.
It's the perfect time.
Also, and hold on, matter of fact, AB, I think you said this on Twitter, I believe.
Right.
That there's a possibility that there might be a possibility that he might come out as a 3, as a Triple Crown champion. He could win against Bobby Lashley and cash in as the undisputed champion.
Oh no, not just that.
You see that?
Here's one of the real darkest timeline, right? And this and you and everyone and people are gonna be like, that's stupid, but we all expect WWE to do something like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I kind of want to see it happen just to see it, right? I know I might be bad for that, but I'm sorry. Drew McIntyre is gonna beat Roman at the UK show, right? Clash in Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Right after that match, when Drew McIntyre has his crowning moment, have Austin Theory come out, hit him in the balls, hit his finish, 1, 2, 3, get the title and leave. Right? I know everybody's like that's
no, that's straight WWE though. I take that.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta manage. That's what I mean when you gotta manage your expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to Austin Theory, right? Theory, whatever. I don't think he's ready. I don't because
why are they like pushing him to the moon though? That's the problem.
They don't have any other choice. They need to create somebody. The problem with WWE is, right? This is what I think. I don't think it's that Roman Reigns or somebody is over pushed, right? I think it's the fact that no one else is pushed at all, right?
But who problem? Once again, like who problem is that, Droopy? I know you got something to say. Go ahead and say it.
It's creative.
Okay, I would say one is that no matter who Austin Theory cashes on, it's going to be, the old saying goes, it's going to get over like a wet fart in church. Because since he's been on the main roster, he has done nothing. Even in his biggest moment.
Except for getting on my damn nerves.
And that's the issue that I'm having, Droopy. Like, it's like you came on the main roster, you use your white privilege card to say I'm better than you because I'm as white as your wall. So I can come in and me and Vince McMahon, because I'm part of the Breakfast Club. I just joined yesterday, and no, I'm not talking about the black version either. So I'm just want to just come in and just show my privilege. And this is what's going on right now. And this don't got nothing to do with playing the race card. The race card is right in front of you. It's just being displayed in fuck levels that I have not seen in years.
You want to know something though? Think about this, and I'm going to take y'all back a little bit. Remember the last time Vince McMahon put this much effort on somebody and it failed? That guy named was Drew McIntyre. He was the chosen one. Just like his good buddy named Jerry Jones, when he fucked up and didn't draft Randy Moss, he had to find a new guy. Austin Theory is that guy. He is groomed like a WWE guy. He is muscular. He's young. This is Vince McMahon's second chance before Vince McMahon either go or say, I failed one time. I got to correct that failness.
You know what though? That comment that you just made, that I fucked up once, but I'm gonna try again. Don't that sound like the XFL a little bit?
And look what happened.
That sounds like a lot of things.
I'm about to say, look what happened there. He sold XFL. XFL didn't even get off the ground yet. He sold that to The Rock. That's coming out next year. So my thing is this: when it comes to Austin Theory, first of all, let me just say this. And Chris, me and you talk about this shit. Austin Theory should never won the goddamn Money in the Bank anyway. That shit went to Seth Rollins.
Just like Otis should have never won that Money in the Bank briefcase. And guess what? He lost it to Miz. Then Miz passed it in, and then the motherfucker was only champion for only 3 seconds.
And that's what I think was going to happen. Now, my theory is this, no pun intended, but he's holding that briefcase for a certain nightmare to come back. He's going to be transitioned.
Cody.
Because who's supposed to really won that damn Money in the Bank?
It was Cody Rhodes, right?
Cody.
So he gonna hold that because he won. Right now, he's gonna be too scared to do it. When I think the perfect opportunity is to do it at the SummerSlam, with those two beating the hell out of each other, and do like a little Seth Rollins situation, come in and steal the damn belts. But he's gonna hold that briefcase. Cody Rhodes gonna come back right before Royal Rumble, take the damn briefcase.
AB, you got a viewer that's upset with you. for saying that.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to find the easiest way to compare this.
Honestly, you know what? That was the best fucking example because that's exactly how I feel about the cowgirls too. The cowgirls, they always pressing their pussy lips all over the fucking United States of America and shit. Talking about, oh, we're gonna win this championship this year and that year, this year, and these and these notes and this all the other bullshit. But the motherfuckers can't even get past one playoff game.
2 playoff wins in 25 years, right?
The last time they won something was in 80s?
96.
See?
95.
Okay,
See?
95.
And you know, and I was in what?
I was a freshman in high school.
Fourth grade. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't ban me. Don't ban me on my own podcast. Don't. Come on. We love you. We love you. Yes, I do. Yes, subscribe to me. But but when we talk about your cowgirls, I mean they're trash. I'm sorry.
All right, let's try to change the subject before he ban all of us.
Yeah. Okay. So it was let me see. Let me put out some facts. So Bobby Lashley have not been pinned on Raw since September of last year. So that's a fun fact. Warlord. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that he's going to change the face of the TNT division, or what's your thoughts about this?
I surely hope so.
I think he will.
I feel the push they're giving him. Oh yeah, he's the guy, and I think they pulled the trigger on him because, I mean, let's face it, between Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, the TNT title should have been on Ethan Page because Scorpio Sky is not a believable heel.
That's good.
Ethan Page is the guy.
You know what though?
So Wardlow, he's going to be that baby face that, no matter who they put him up against, people are going to want to see him destroy him with the Powerbomb Symphony.
Because the people love Wardlow.
It's kind of messed up though because it seems Scorpio Sky is a 2-time TNT champion and they are not good title reigns at all. Not
they're the worst title reigns ever.
As much as we were so happy, I mean, hey Chris, me, you can say this. We were so happy.
Nigga, I was all about the culture. I was all about the culture.
But then I tell you, like, okay, now what's gonna happen? And he lost it. They won it back. Got hurt. Yeah. I think he had one title defense, and then look what happened now. It passed him over. So, like, it's a good thing that Wardlow is taking this momentum that they've been building for almost the whole thing. 3 years he's been in AEW, if you think about it. But
they built it perfectly.
And I think even Miro said this. Miro said that title went down to shits once I lost it.
He's right.
It did.
So I think they got the right guy to probably put some more wins under it. Hell, come close to Darby Allin's record. Darby Allin got the defense record for the title.
He got the most days too.
Yeah, probably go past that and see what happens from there.
So, what do you guys think of this? This is The Rock's daughter. I'm going to call her Simone Johnson. I'm not going to call her that other name because that name sounds very stupid. So she's calling herself the final girl. Like, this is Final Fight or Final Destination. Like, what's going on here? Like,
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's open for it.
I mean, I'll be honest, right? In terms of like Simone Johnson, right? I feel like her whole gimmick, like the way, at least just from this very, very brief image and nothing else, right? I feel like she's probably going to be built up as like a final boss type, like heel champion, right? I feel like it's probably going to be something like that. But I mean, to be honest, I don't think any of us really know because has she even been on like proper NXT TV yet?
No.
She's only going to level up, right? So,
no.
I don't think she's been.
Oh, okay.
I think she need to watch some videotape of her father and get some damn mic skills.
Right.
I mean, that's by this picture. She looks like she's nervous to talk on the damn mic.
Hell yeah! It's just like no, like for real.
Look at that picture. Look at that picture. You don't have to hear nothing. She looked like she got that far away look like fucking deer lights. It's
I
coming
thought it
in.
was
So
Chelsea Green. Before the show.
Not deal lights. Not deal lights.
yeah, she looks scary. So she
She
need to
be
do
like-
some promo.
Yeah, and like, actually, wait, I want to bring up something about Wardlow, right? In regards to Wardlow, right? I feel like what they should do is they need to just give him the title for like almost a year, pretty much. Have him consistently defend it against like anybody, right? And then whoever you're going to be pushing, right, as like the next heel. That's the and ideally, my hope is it'll be Swerve, right? Swerve's either Swerve Strickland or I mean, if he's willing to do it, Bryan Danielson, right? I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see Danielson as TNT champ because I don't think he's going to win the world title, but
I don't think he wants to. He just want to
wrestle.
wrestle.
It's like, and like if he's the TNT champ, right? He can basically go back to what he was doing before the whole Blackpool Combat Club, right? Being the best, basically like being the best wrestler in the world, but he's a dickhead heel about it, right?
Yeah, I love.
He wants to make sure you know, and like, honestly, right? You guys brought up Scorpio Sky winning. I was so happy when Scorpio Sky won because I don't know. I always felt like he was like misused potential, right? I thought they wasted him because even during the tag title run, they were the wrong people to be named the first champs because everyone wanted it to be the Lucha Brothers. So even though Scorpio Sky and I think it was Frankie, right? They were the first ever tag champs and probably the best tag division in wrestling, right? Nobody cared. Nobody wanted them to win, and nobody cares about them, even then and even now, right? And with Scorpio Sky, I feel like his only real problem is he's not the most like interesting person, right? And when I say interesting person, I mean like do you guys really see any like hidden charisma this guy has or something like that? Because even just the way he talks, even just like his personality, right? He just he doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like he has it yet. That's why I thought the whole ATT thing. I feel like I was one of the few people actually like Dan Lambert, right? Because like at least when it started, right? At least when it started, it was pretty good, right? And even the team with Ethan Page, I thought they bought out each other's strengths. Scorpio Sky was like the workhorse, and Ethan Page was more the talker, right? And what happened was with Scorpio Sky, he was just the wrong guy in the wrong place because they played themselves when they didn't turn Scorpio Sky babyface during that whole feud with Sammy Guevara and Conti. Because let's be honest, if they turned him babyface, he wouldn't have lost the title, right? And even with Wardlow, I honestly think they were a bit late in giving him the title. If it was me, right? You already knew Scorpio Sky was injured when he did that LA Dynamite show, right?
Right.
So why not on that show have Scorpio Sky come out, have Wardlow come out, challenge Scorpio Sky, and just beat him, like just beat him senseless, not beat him senseless, but like just basically do what they did this week, right?
Now fuck him up.
Exactly, right?
You remember though when he first won it, they kind of teased that. They kind of teased that Ethan Page and Lambert was going to turn on Scorpio Sky,
and they should have, honestly, because I think it would have bought something out of Scorpio. Like I think it would have bought something out of Scorpio Sky because, like, some of his promos, right, that he cut, especially when he had some fire in his voice, they were good. But other than that, Scorpio Sky, he always felt a bit bland, right? So I thought the TNT title run for him, I thought he was going to bring out his inner personality and things like that, kind of like he did with Darby Allin, right? Like Darby Allin was made a much bigger star because of that run. I thought the same thing was going to happen for Sky, but they screwed it up when they didn't turn him babyface. Because it was right there. It was organic too. It was built. They built it perfectly, and then they played themselves.
I don't even think they turned him babyface. I just think the crowd didn't like Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti.
Right, but then you got to go with that, though, right?
Droopy, what you guys say?
I got a couple of points. Is that as far as The Rock's daughter goes, I think that instead of calling her, I forgot her name, whatever the hell they was calling her, she should embrace being The Rock's daughter and have her be healed. She should embrace that. walk
Just
around
like
the
how
back.
Charlotte embraced, being
Yeah.
Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah, like her shit don't stink. That's what she needs to do instead of calling her this anime name, whatever they call her.
I swear, it's like her name came from like fucking Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z or some type of shit.
What is her name?
Ava Rain.
I forgot already. Something with rain.
Ava Rain. That's what it is.
Ava Rain.
Ava and then Rain. R-A-I-N-E.
That's never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But no, I want to before we get back to your point, bro. So Conan buries Jordy Grace. He said that I can't believe she would publicly come out and make an ass of herself like that. But this ain't the first time she had stupid takes.
Mm-hmm.
And with age comes with wisdom. You'll get there soon enough. And he went on a rant. Like, for real. We'll talk about this on Twitter tomorrow. But yeah, so I can show you guys whatever. Because this shit is like long as fuck. Shout out to Terrell for sending me this. Yeah, so bro, we'll talk about this on Twitter tomorrow. Droopy, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think she should embrace that and be healed. I mean, and just walk around like, her shit don't stink instead of having her try to play a character, that she doesn't, you could tell she's not going to embrace this whole, persona. She hasn't embraced it because of the way she looked in that picture, as y'all said. She needs to embrace Brock's daughter and go out there and tell the crowd, I'm electrified. I don't need to say kiss my, that type of deal, And as far as the TNT Championship, Wardlow right now is, the perfect guy because of MJF, the rub MJF gave him. And if they turn Scorpio Sky babyface, like y'all said that they should have done it a long time ago, because him and SCU, they should bring that back for those trios titles.
They should.
Because Scorpio Sky, he's better with, Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. It's just that chemistry that was there. And with Dan Lambert, Ethan Page should be, getting a huge push because, when he comes out there, he'd be like, I got the tightest tits in the game. I'm done. I'm done.
Wait, bro. Just say it again. Say that shit again.
He comes out, he said, take a look, I got the tightest tits in the game. I'm done. He's the guy. He is the guy.
Yeah.
That is funny. So basically what you're saying is they're in the wrong groups, basically.
Yeah.
Like, what's that should go back to SCU. The other one should just stay in team. Yeah.
I don't even think he should be there because I remember what they said when he first got there. They was trying to get Josh Alexander. They was not trying to get Ethan Page. That's supposed to be the package deal, but Josh wanted to stay in Impact. So you'd have brought Josh Alexander and Ethan Page, the North. That's your tag team right there, right? Right. Yeah. And then you had to add one more person. They got plenty of Canadians in there, so someone could fit right in with those two. And Ethan Page is just an asshole, so it works. Oh my God, really?
Yeah. So this was one of the ones that I seen on Twitter. So no, this wasn't on Twitter. This was on Facebook. So someone was implying that Natalya is doing everything in her power to please Vince McMahon by getting these breast implants or whatever. Yeah. So,
if it's not her, her sister is.
Yeah. So moving on. So this is Will Ospreay is a fucking savage.
Yes.
This man said that I will slap that boy and remind him you are a fucking 40-year-old. Oh my God. Like I'm almost 40. I know my knees are bad, but calm down on the age. I know I'm fucking 40. I know I'm old as fuck.
He hurt me.
So he said you are fucking fragile. I am not fragile, by the way. I'm 39 and I'm fat. Do you really want to get with me? I will end you. What you guys think of this?
Well, if you remember the last time Kenny was there, he pushed Will Ospreay and Jay White aside and said, y'all need to take over this place.
Right.
Y'all the two guys just to take over this place.
And one guy did it.
I'm gonna say both of them. Like, you know, Will Ospreay is a former world champion. He's winning championships all over the place.
Right.
And you know, Jay White is Jay White. But we're not talking about Jay White. We're talking about Will Ospreay. And Will Ospreay, he really, if you remember, they had a little tweet back and forth going on before Kenny got hurt. And he told Kenny, like, dude, calm down. You're the one that told me to take over this spot. You're the one that told me to be the best in the world. Don't try and downplay my shit now. So,
Kenny Omega
Austin ain't shit. He's talking about you're not fat, Chris. You Beverly plump. Beverly plump.
That is a new one. Feathery.
Right, that
you lie on your feet. Think that's nice. He's that nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it. At least someone acknowledged my fatness. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing, but you know, whatever.
Hey, we don't do that here. You moist. That's what you are.
That's a bit out of
pocket, you are.
Sir.
You say you moist. You the moistest person in the fucking game. That's what you said. I'm throwing your words back at you.
Moving on. Okay. So I can't believe.
What's this?
I understand it's raining outside, but don't put my moisture out here on everybody on display. Don't do that. You know, I know I'm a rainy forecast, but I don't need people to know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway, Mr. Jim Cornette said
please
that.
Let me go on this. Please.
Oh yes, we're going to go in on this one, and then we're going to go to our final subject, which what we were talking about today. Jim Cornette, yes. Remember when we was talking about the whole what if? I'm gonna explain that on the last topic. So, but yes, we're gonna go on this, and then I'm gonna bring Reese in here because he just asked for the link. So Jim Cornette said this. He said that Theory is a much better worker than Kenny Omega is and ever will be. What do you guys think about this?
Oh yeah, please. I
get him, AB. Get him.
Go ahead.
All right, look. All right. Before y'all get heated at me, he's not complete. He could be right. Because remember, the Theory's only like 23, 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, Kenny Omega didn't really get any recognition until he was like 33, 34, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years from now, could Theory reach that level? Sure, we don't know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he could, but in terms of right now, there's no chance in hell. And I want to know what y'all think of this, right? Oh shit! I can't believe it. My bad.
Listen. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Jim Cornette, but I think this is
Kenny.
Clearly, I mean, because like Kenny, Kenny said something about Jim Cornette like a couple days ago.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was saying with Kenny Omega, right? Like Kenny Omega, right? And this kind of annoys me about him, and a little bit with the Young Bucks too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they always feel like they have to keep on addressing all this shit and keep on having to prove themselves and all that. I'm like, bro, you created the second biggest company in the world and became the stars of that company. What more do you have to prove, right?
You know what? Jim Cornette got some beef about a long time ago when Kenny came to work at Ring of Honor.
Right.
He couldn't make
Kenny and the Young Bucks for that reason.
They couldn't make the dates. It was a fucking blizzard, Jim. They couldn't make the fucking date. Damn, let it fucking go.
Right?
Let it fuck. I mean, I honestly, now let me take this because this been bugged me for years. They couldn't make the date. You fucking mad as hell. You still had a whole big roster of talent there, and you're mad at one man who was stuck in Japan during the fucking blizzard, and you always want to bring up, he wrestled a little girl, he wrestled a dummy. Nick, you forgot the clothes you used to wear when you was a manager at WWE, those bright colors and all that stuff. You forgot you the man that...
There's a photo of Jim Cornette pointing at a guy's ass.
Oh my God. You smacked Santino Marella because he told you was overrated. You in your feelings that now the guys that you try to hold down, the Kevin Owens, the Young Bucks, the Kenny Omegas, they are more relevant. Sami Zayn, they are more relevant than who you are used to be.
Right.
Wow.
Surpassed.
Kenny is, right?
Surpassed you all way. So now you want to bring them down. It's not gonna happen. Like you just said, they made either the top wrestling company in the States or in the world.
Right.
And what you don't even have to answer this dude. What?
No, they don't. And that's what annoys me about this whole thing with Kenny Omega, right? Like, look,
well, I think with Kenny, he couldn't hold it no more. He tried to be the bigger man for years.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He's
been
saying this type of shit. He's been saying just as much stuff about just as much stuff, right? He just does it. He just does it in smaller doses. The difference, right?
I get smaller doses, but not
every other week.
Not this past Twitch show. This past Twitch show, I told my brother right there, heard me say this earlier. This past Twitch show, he's been cursing like a damn sailor in that one.
Right.
He was going to hell off.
Right.
I'm like, God, I didn't know Kenny had it in him. He was going deep.
Like, you gotta understand, like Kenny is upset. Like Kenny wants to be in the ring.
Right.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Kenny Omega, right? But like in ring, right? What Jim Cornette said is because the only guy. This is me. I don't know what y'all think about this. I think in ring, the only guy on Kenny's level is Bryan Danielson.
Yes. Their match at on the Grand Slam last year.
Yep.
Best match. Awesome. Right? And went to a draw, which made us want more.
Exactly.
One of us want a rematch. That's why I like if it's a good match and take it to the draw, we want more. So they got something. They both come back for injury. We probably get that rematch for no one contender match.
The other thing is, right? I know certain people don't like it because of the style he wrestles, right? To me personally, though, I never really understood that comparison because it's not like Kenny Omega wrestles like the Young Bucks, right? Where he does like 7,000 flips and stuff in every fucking match and all that, right? I'm not trying to hate on the Young Bucks or anything, but if you're going to use that criticism, right? I don't think Kenny Omega actually wrestles like that because I don't really see a lot wrong with the way he actually wrestles. Right? And when I say wrong, I mean how these guys just go, they don't sell, they do this, they only do moves, they don't care, they don't know how to put a match together, right? All they do is dives, right? I don't really see a lot of that in Kenny's matches, except for that one, that one draft, and he calls it the Guitar Crusher, right? Where he does a swan dive over the top rope, right? Yeah. Outside of that, I don't see anything that's like too choreographed or something like that in his matches. So I never really understood that criticism either. I'm like, bro, if you want to use that against like the Young Bucks, the Lucha Bros, then yeah, fine, that's fine because that's valid, right?
But the only dives Kenny do is the Terminator one where he got the fans doing But another thing is the criticism that just like the Young Bucks, but mostly with Kenny, he don't tell a good story, and I'll say that's a bunch of bullshit. Like this dude, he tells great stories in the ring, just like we just said with him and Bryan Danielson.
Right.
These guys had not wrestled each other since, if you remember the infamous
2007,
choke,
I believe.
The choke that he got fired for, Danielson got fired for, and he went to PWG and he wrestled Kenny. Those are the last time they faced each other.
Right.
And Kenny tells a great story, like, you know, hey, I don't think I could beat this dude, but I don't think he could beat me either.
That's right. And that's what that match proved.
And I mean, it was
wrestlers going at it.
Right, and it just boggles me that people always come to that saying that Kenny does. I know he's nowhere near the Young Bucks. Now, when they tag together, maybe he tried to do something to match up the Young Bucks, but that's the Young Bucks thing. The Young Bucks thing is to do the flip flops, all that shit. Kenny is straight up. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna slam you. I'm gonna do my V trigger.
He needs to lay off the V trigger a little bit. I think we can all admit that, right? Got like 60 of them in a match, but and the thing with Kenny Omega is right. Not only like with all the injuries that this dude has had, right? He wasn't just putting on good matches. He was putting on like I said, like match of the year type matches.
Yeah.
Like I can't name a single bad match that he had, right? And he was doing that with and he was doing that basically being held together with tape.
Right. He says he's 88%. I don't know. The last time we heard, he was like 80-something%. And I got told somebody, I was like, yo, 80% of Kenny Omega is still better than most 100% guys.
Exactly. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Let's see. Droopy and then Reese. Go ahead.
Yeah, to piggyback off what y'all said is that Jim Cornette, I feel that since he, was old school and he grew up in a time where kayfabe was top priority, I feel that because the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they don't take kayfabe as serious as he does, and they don't have the same philosophy when it comes to pro wrestling as he does. He doesn't like them. Anybody that doesn't have the same philosophy, old school philosophy as Jim Cornette, he does not like them. And that's, the problem with Jim Cornette. And also another thing about Kenny, him, wrestling with all these injuries and putting on match of the year, he also had vertigo, at the same time, where he was seeing about multiple, 5 or 6 people in the ring, and he's still putting on great matches.
God damn, man. Damn.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, right, about philosophies. Who's that new Japanese guy that they brought in? I forget his name.
Starts with a K.
Kensitsu, I forgot, but he's from DDT.
Konosuke Takeshita, right?
Yeah.
He's good.
He's really good. You know
Really
what
good.
said on his podcast? It was a direct quote. So in the match with Hangman Page, right? His co-host asked him, he's like, so how impressed were you with him this time? He's like, oh, I was even more impressed than the first time I saw him. But I hate this guy now. And the reason he hates him is because he did the same shit that Kenny Omega did in DDT. Like the wrestling, like the children and all that crap, right?
It's
a blind hate for no reason. That's what I don't. That's what.
Like, and you know what? And you know what, bro? That's the toxicity that we were talking about earlier today. Like, there's just it's too. I mean, like, why in the fuck do you have to hate on this particular person because you don't like this other person over here? So, like, oh, well, you're just guilty by association. We don't know if he knows Kenny Omega like that, or does he?
But I think he do. Because DDT is still close to Kenny.
They're boys.
Yeah. So
they're boys. Okay.
Takeshita and Kenny, right?
Yeah.
Kenny Omega is the guy who Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi basically took this guy under his wing like 10 years ago when he first started training. Like the dude's only 26, right? Like if AEW is smart, they will sign this guy. Because, like, let's be honest, I know he can't exactly like talk properly yet, right? But his accent isn't too thick to the point where it's not where you can't understand what he's saying, right? In ring, he's up there with some of the best in this company, right? He reminds me of Omega and Ibushi, like fused together.
I was about to say that. They're like fused together.
If you could take Eddie Kingston's Orkin and still be standing, you're definitely a tough dude.
Bro, that dude. And I watched the match he had in PWG.
With Daniel Garcia, right? Or no,
yes, I think it was Garcia, but he's on excursion right now. He's with DDT, but he's on excursion. But I think that Hangman match put him on the map with everybody. Like they knew about him, but now hearing about him. They know who he is. Like, like you said, like you said, AB, it'll be. I think AEW need to sign him.
They need to buy out his contract like they did with Thunder Rosa.
Yes. Yeah.
So everybody, we're going to go to final thoughts. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I love this background music. This background music is like so soothing. Once again, you guys, Droopy, AB, Enforcer, Rockin' Reese, even though Rockin' Reese came in a little bit late, but that's fine because as a matter of fact, I'm glad you came in because this is what we're going to talk about. This is what we talked about earlier today. So, this subject came up while we were talking about Vince McMahon, and we were talking about Vince McMahon. Say, like, for an example, there was a wrestling paradox that happened, like some type of Back to the Future shit. Somebody rewrote history. So, say, like, if Vince McMahon never won that steroid case, what would happen with the New Generation era? What would happen to the Attitude era? What would happen to ECW? Would ECW would have went under? Would have still bankrupt? Would WCW would have bankrupt? What would have happened with TNA? What would happen with Ring of Honor? What would happen with New Japan? What would happen to AEW? Like, this is like, there was a lot of shit that we talked about that I'm thinking about making a mini series of this. So
you got multiverse going on.
Yeah, multiverse. Yes, like I'm telling you, like we that space talked
Wrestling
a lot of shit.
dominated.
Yes, matter of fact, Rocky Reese,
Yeah.
you were one of the people that was in there. So, what do you think? Because I really want you, AB, Droopy, I really want you guys to be a part of this. Because, like, you know, KB opened the floodgates of hell with this. And a lot of matter of fact, one of my buddies that's in the game, he wants to get on this action as well because he was thinking about doing something like this, but this is like on a bigger scale. I'm thinking about doing a mini series of this, so we break down each era, like what would happen with Bret Hart, with the NWO, with Shawn Michaels, with Stone Cold. I mean, we can really turn this into a mini series. And I'm thinking about doing this shit like on #HealsForLife, which is like we can do it on here or we can do it on Twitter, whatever's easier. I think it might be easier to do it on Twitter. In that way, you know what I'm saying? We don't all, you know, we can probably do it on here. So I want your take on this, like your thoughts, AB, Droopy, and Antonio. We'll get your thoughts as well. So, what do you think about this?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, we can go down. Since we're going to go on the final thoughts. And matter of fact, there's somebody else that just popped in, Mr. DJ. Hi,
DJ.
Tonight. Can you hear us?
I don't know.
Oh, he muted his mic.
I think it might be the mic.
Yeah,
okay.
He muted his mic. But yeah, AB, you go first. We're just gonna go.
I mean, like, in terms of what would have happened, right? The rumors at the time were that they're going to bring in somebody like I think they're going to bring in Cowboy Bill Watson, Cherry Jarrett to basically run it during Vince's absence. Because I think Vince was only going to go away for about like 5 to 10 years at the most. So so I don't think it would have been too much. Sorry, Cowgirl Bill Watson, my bad, right? I don't think that much really would have changed if I'm being honest. Right? I think wrestling kind of would have played out the same, but Attitude Era, it would have been a lot shorter. Like I think it only would have been like 3 years instead of the 5 years that it really was, right? Because we know Vince's lawyer, right? The lawyer and all that. He would have found a way to get out of jail because like the U.S. government, their case and all that wasn't really strong. But this is just what I think, right? I actually think that a lot of this is going to be a bit controversial, right? I think that actually would have been a lot worse for minority talent if Bill Watts was there. Because I don't know if you guys have read up about Bill Watts, right? But Bill Watts, he was pretty fucking racist.
Yeah.
Like you would have seen a lot more things like Kai and Tai, right? The Nation of Domination, let's just say that would have played out a little differently, right? So like I feel like at least in that aspect, that would have been a lot worse. And
really?
Yeah.
So do you think that the role? Okay, so like I want you to take the lawyer out of this equation.
Oh, okay.
Take them all out. Take them all out.
I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
So say you went to jail for 20 years, right? I feel like WWF and WCW, they would have kept on going at each other, right? But it would have gotten to a point where the war would basically stabilize and one company would be more dominant than the other. Whichever one that is, I'm not really sure. Because WCW's problems are more than just losing to WWF, right? It was the mismanagement. It was how Eric Bischoff gave like 17 different people creative control, right? The fact that they kept on losing money and everything, right? So like I feel like one of the companies would have been bigger and then the other one would have been slightly smaller. But I feel like that's how it would be, and then we just settle into a holding pattern, right? Where people are just consistently switching between one and the other, kind of like how people like a soccer team, right? Like you know how you have different countries with different leagues. I feel like that's how it probably would have been. And in terms of people like Bret Hart and all that, I think they would have been pushed a little bit sooner than they actually were, because because people in the territories, right? They weren't as infatuated with the muscle heads as Vince McMahon was, right?
Okay.
So let
me ask you this. Who would have took over for Vince McMahon?
Jerry Jarrett or Bill Watts, one of the two, and Pat Patterson as the lieutenant. That's what I think.
So no, know what? My off the wall thinking, and I know you're biting. Chris is gonna bite at the freaking bit.
Yes.
I think, as much as everybody hated what Vince did with WCW and everybody else, I think in a sense he saved professional wrestling at that time.
He did.
He made sure people had those jobs. They may not like the way he did it. I mean, but think about it. I mean, it was guerrilla warfare. He made a guerrilla move, but he kept people having jobs. But then once he had that, he should have found a way of doing kind of like what Tony's doing with Ring of Honor, doing it on the split. Hey, you know what? Here, you guys run this, and if need be, if I need to sit there and come and visit and monitor and stuff, so be it. That's where you fucked up, because with ECW finally had a financial backing with Vince. He finally had that. Paul had that financial backing because ECW was a broke motherfucker living from paycheck to paycheck at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
did you ask enough?
Like you cared.
Oh. Right.
Jesus.
Right. I'm like, oh God. Because if I did care, I would have went on to the next caller. I mean, you know.
You just all this you're fixing to?
I was, you know, but
all right, Cletus, go on, Cletus, go on.
So, madam, Cletus, don't listen. You know what? I was gonna say, it wasn't me. You know, I wasn't gonna do that, but you know, let's move on. Reese, the nicer caller. Did you have something, sir?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna really open the floodgates with this one.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Wait, Reese, before you do that.
Oh, you're getting all the drinks now. Damn, now I felt like I should get something right now.
Oh, I'm telling you, like I said, don't be like Jeff and drink.
Oh Lord!
Wow!
Yeah. All right.
Because I'm light skinned.
All right. I won't do any tauntauns, so yeah. But anyway, yeah. If Vince would have been found guilty, I think wrestling would have been done by the mid-90s.
Ooh.
And here's why. And I remember I was thinking about it like what I said earlier. Remember I talked about WCW almost caused the single biggest fuck up in wrestling history when they tried to change Ric Flair's name. Yeah, and did the whole Spartacus thing, and then Bobby Heenan had the big gold belt right there on Vince. And mind you, this was before SummerSlam that year. Yeah. You remember, you go back to WCW like in the early 90s. Road Warriors up to Vince. Steiners up to Vince. Flair up to Vince. Luger up to Vince. They busted up the Midnight Express and the Freebirds. And then, like, afterwards, even though Flair came back, they busted up the Hollywood Blondes, which, by the way, WCW still never forgave you for that. You had all these things going on, and it was like, if anybody ever watched that Great American Bash, by the way, in 91, those "We Want Flair" chants were beyond definite throughout Baltimore, and actually a lot of arenas in WCW at that point afterwards. Like, they better thank God that Ravishing Rick Rude and Vader got elevated, because that pretty much, and of course that they still had Sting, that pretty much were the only three things that saved WCW from really going out of business back then. And then, like I said, with the attitude, or excuse me, not the attitude era, with the new generation, yeah, they better thank God they had Brett. They better thank God they had Taker, because, yeah, had Vince been found guilty, yeah, they would have been. I think WWF would have been done at worst by 90, if not the end of 95, then definitely beginning of 96.
Wow.
That's a hot take right there.
I
A hot
told
take.
you, Reese's deep. Reese's deep.
That's a hot take right there. Just off the strength of that, because I went back and did my research because I knew they were going to talk about the what ifs and whatnot. And I did my research, and then I went back to the it was the steroids lawsuit. That's what you're referring to, right? Steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And but like you said, if that would have taken down Vince, do you think it would have been more of a class action? Do you think that the Senate would have went down and tried to go to every single territory and try to wipe everything down then? How do you think that would have happened if he would have, snowball effect.
Snowball.
Yeah,
That's exactly what would have happened.
Go from one company to the next company, because all wrestling is the same. You always got different names. You still doing
and
the same
remember, like,
business.
a lot of those guys came from a lot of those smaller territories, so who knows what people were doing even back then.
Oh
well, we already know that pain pills and cocaine was the party of choice.
Remember, some of these guys from AEW, or some of these guys from AWA went to WWE, and they was doing heavy drugs like the Jesse Venturas and all of them. So they was doing all this stuff before they came to WWF. It's just that around that time it started getting out of hand. It went from sports, when people started dying out of nowhere, and then they said, you know what, these guys look too damn big. These guys, their veins is showing too much.
That's not a bad thing.
They just say it's not.
Let me stop.
Oh my goodness!
It's all about the moisture, right?
See?
Yeah.
See?
The other thing that really would have screwed wrestling.
Did he just curse me out for that shit?
Yeah, he did. See, because the way Christopher works is do what I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
No. The thing about this with you is that you a petty motherfucker, and I have to check you a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but that's fine. Like, I'll be the moist man in the room. I always say that, like,
call me Petty Tendergrass.
That's fine.
You take that next time.
I would definitely give you a theme song to that. Just, you know what I'm saying, whenever we go over the beats or whatever, you know what I'm saying, because I got a beat for you, you know, so that's fine. But anyway, let's go on to the next caller. Or, excuse me, not the next caller, but the next viewer. Droopy, your take on the what if?
I feel that if Vince got, found guilty, Jeff Jarrett probably would have been a world champion at that time, seeing that, Vince called up his daddy to, run the day-to-day operations. But also I feel that if Vince would have got found guilty, I think ECW would have been bigger than it was. I mean, because let's face it, ECW gave Vince McMahon the template for the Attitude Era. If there was no ECW, there would have been no Attitude Era. And I think if Paul saw...
You said the tip,
what?
right? You said the tip, right?
Bro, it's never just the tip. It's never just the tip.
Oh my God!
You sure you want to be on this podcast or somewhere else?
Continue.
ECW gave them the template to, for the Attitude Era. And I feel if Vince wasn't there, Paul would have had to manage his money a whole lot better. And I think WCW would have got in their own way to the point where they would have went out of business anyway, because when you give wrestlers creative control, that's a recipe disaster.
Always a bad idea.
I mean, but you know New Yorkers, Don't know how to manage no money. You know that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't. Terrell's from New York. I'm sorry. I didn't say you.
Wait, I could name a couple New Yorkers that know how to handle it.
Hey, shh.
We ain't talking to them New Yorkers now.
Right. We don't sell it, you know. But anyway.
Wow.
So you are the last one, Mr. Enforcer. What's your thoughts?
If Vince would have been found guilty, first of all, let's go to this, which I just found out not long ago. I told y'all this a couple years ago. I found this out that they was doing business with Jarrett and his company. They was doing not Jarrett, Jerry Lawler and his company. They was doing co-business. So if he would have found guilty, I definitely saw Jarrett and Lawler. Let's not forget Jerry Lawler had a piece of that pie too.
USWA.
Yes. They would have found a way to bring up all their guys, like Lawler's son and Jarrett's son, and they would have been big as I don't know what. But at the same time, I always call Vince McMahon the godfather of wrestling. So a phone call is not going to hurt him. It's like I think now, if they tell him to leave now, he can still make that phone call and still be the last word, the final word of anything that happens in that company. So he could be the John Gotti back then, be on the phone call like, all right, this is how it's going to go, blah, blah. Yeah, they never said they going to take my title. Remember, they was not public back then. So I don't think that much would change, but when it comes to everything else, like my man said, wrestling would still be changed because I think WCW would have messed up. They would not sign Hogan because that's what changed their fortunes. They signed Hogan after that trial. Hogan went to WCW after that trial, which gave them more fan base and more money. Hogan would not have signed with WCW. Bret Hart probably would not have been the WWE champion. Ric Flair probably would have stayed in WWF. Some of the old guys probably would have still been there. Shawn Michaels probably not been the Heartbreak Kid as we know him now because he was still be in the mid card or doing a talk show. So a lot of things that happened because Vince didn't go to jail kind of went and made these Hall of Famers who they are today. But he probably still had a phone call away to make those final decisions. And also when it comes to ECW, like you said, there would not be no attitude ever was for ECW. Well, ECW was not hardcore yet either. They was Eastern Championship Wrestling. Right. They was Eastern Championship Wrestling. So they probably would not have made it either if they didn't make that change either. So if he would have been guilty, there would have been no financial backing for ECW to get no money because those accounts would have been locked. Or Jarrett would not even trust Paul Heyman. As we all know, Paul Heyman is not good with money. So that would affect ECW. So thank God Vince did not found guilty because history shows that ECW got the money. Hulk Hogan went to sign to WCW, which made them a big company all of a sudden. And by them getting a bus whoop 83 straight weeks, WWF had to change their direction real quick, or they was gonna be out of business regardless. So that's how I see it.
All right. So what we're gonna do is, I knew that this was going to work, especially having, very talented, knowledgeable individuals on the podcast. AB, thank you, and Droopy, and even you, T.O., for coming on the podcast. Appreciate it. We're definitely going to turn this into.
We got his popcorn ready.
Yeah, right. We're definitely going to turn this into a mini series. But I'm gonna get with the guys and see and get some ideas and see how we can structure this. And then once I find out when we're going to actually air this, I'll let you guys know. But do you think that we should do this?
Oh yeah,
hell yeah.
It's a great idea. It's a good concept.
The reason why I say it will work is just because everybody has their own vast knowledge, and I'm learning something from you guys that I didn't know. But the fact that this is something that the wrestling community needs, but they don't know that they need it.
Yeah.
Wrestling nice. Like I said, knowledge is power.
Yeah,
Knowledge is power.
especially
Why the hell did you say
if
that?
go back to generations, like even before any of us were ever born.
I mean, I'm not talking about no Mortal Kombat shit. I mean, but yes, knowledge is power.
This would be the perfect shot for, like we said earlier, the multiverse could change. This one little thing could change everything. So
exactly. And
that's why perfect.
And that's why I believe we need to do this. So I will definitely. Yes, Austin, you are hilarious. Thank you for that. I did not know that you was a Cowboy fan. Great. I'm great that I'm grateful that you told us this on the podcast. So yeah, everybody stick to so tomorrow, me and even T.O. down there, if he acts right, we'll be on Twitter tomorrow. I love fucking with him. But yeah, we'll be on Twitter tomorrow, so I will see you guys the link. Next week, I don't know what's going on next week. Hopefully, we don't hear any more Vince McMahon shit. But if we do,
we will.
Yeah,
I was about to knock on wood, but yeah, we go definitely hear something new.
Definitely.
And they wait till Friday to do it. They do it every Friday. It'd be like a new release every Friday.
I swear, it's like the guy. It's like a damn Marvel Disney Plus show. You gotta wait the whole day.
Always if you drop it on a Friday.
Stupid.
Right.
But
as
yeah,
soon as you get paid. Oh, and Vince McMahon, this what the?
Yeah. By the way, for your weekend, so you can think about it, dwell about it. You know. Yeah.
Keeping WWE name in our mouth.
Exactly.
But yeah, AB, Enforcer, T.O., Rock and Reeds, Droopy, you guys were awesome. Thank you guys for swinging in and taking the time to come on the show and checking this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys have fun. But yeah, next week everyone, we'll be back 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern. I'll be back Thursday for the Wolfpack Wrestling Podcast and also for the Around the Ropes on Saturday night. So once again, I'm your host, Mr. Team Briggs for #Hills for Life. Remember to subscribe to this channel, #Hills for Life Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and on Facebook. And you can also email us at #Hills for Life Wrestling Podcast @gmail.com. Until that time, blessings to you guys. Have a wonderful work week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Bang, bang, not a game.
This is good. This is fun. Thanks, man.